Hey everyone, I'm Melanie from Streamlined Legal, where we help law firms get the most out of their practice management software. And tonight we have a request. This video is made by request. If you have a request in the future, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to me via email or drop a comment in either Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn. And I would love to make a video that's going to be helpful to you. So tonight's request comes from someone who is trying to format a bill. And on their bill currently, there is no spot for the attorney's initials or names for the person who's actually providing the service. And in a lot of states, that is a requirement of the bar, and it is required on your bill in order to say who it was that provided the service. So I want to be able to show you guys how to add that to your bill if in fact it's not already on your bill. So let's dive over to the screen and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. In our Clio account, I'm going to first show you a bill over here in our bill section, and I'm going to search for bill 322 in our account here. And it's actually under pending approval here. When we look at this bill, you can see that I do have an entry line item on this bill. However, it does not have anybody's name or initials there. So we don't know who actually took the time to make that entry and who was the person that did the work that's notated there. So if you look over here, actually, you can see the actual bill theme, they call it, or the bill template that Clio's using for this. And right now we've got the default bill theme on there, but I can change it to a different type of bill theme depending on what I'm doing on that bill. And so I can change that when it's still in draft format. However, none of these actually have the attorney's name or initials on there. So I'm going to show you exactly how to set that up so that you can create a bill theme that has that on there, and you can use that bill theme in order to make that happen on your bills. So if we come over here to settings, and then we click on our billing settings. Now keep in mind, if you're not an administrator, you won't have access to this part of the settings. So you will need to either get that permission or get someone else that has permission to do this for you. If we click on billing there's going to be a tab up here that says bill themes. And this is where I can go ahead and create new bill themes, or I can adjust the bill themes that I have. So what I would recommend is take the one that, if you have multiple ones in your account, take the one that you like that's closest to what you want. And I would go ahead and click on this to make a copy of it. Okay, so when we make a copy of it, it'll show up here at the end of the list. And now I can go in and start editing this copy. And so I'm going to click on it and it'll bring me to that editing screen. And the first thing I'm going to do is just rename it so that I can find it again, right? So in this case, I'm going to call it with attorney initials, since that's what we're going to try and put on here. So I'm going to save that. Now I've got my new theme. It's saved up here. And if we scroll down a little bit, we can see the section of the bill that we're really focused on for this purpose. And I'm going to come over here to the matter section. And when I click on the matter section, it's going to give me some options of things I can change. The first thing I want to look at is this line items right here, because this is where it's going to make sure that I'm either showing the attorney initials or the attorney name when I put this column on the bill, right? And so in this case, I'm good with the initials. I don't need the whole name. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure initials is checked, or the little dot is filled. And we're going to get our initials on there. Then what happens is I need to come down here to services/combine orderings. And when I do that, we'll see the different columns that are showing up in this section, right, in this service section. And so you'll see that we're showing the type, the date, the description, the quantity, and the total. And in fact, we've got the type, the date, the notes, which we called it. We changed the top title up here, the quantity, and the total. But I want to add another column here. And right now that attorney column you can see is hidden. So if I drag this attorney column over into the showing columns, now it's going to show up on my bill. And if you watch, actually, when I put this right after the date and before the description, because the order does matter here in this column, when I click that on, it now has created a column for my attorney initials here. Okay. And so I can go ahead now that this theme has been updated, this template has been updated. I don't need to click any save buttons or anything. It does that automatically. But now my template is called, we called it with attorney initials, right? So now I'm going to go back to my bills over here, and I'm going to go find my bill. Let's see. Thought I had one with a few more time entries on it, but let's go take a look at this 322. And now you'll see it's on that same template it was on before, but now when I change my bill theme, I can go ahead and change it to with attorney initials. And you'll see it pops in that extra column and it's got my initials on it right here. Okay. Now that's excellent. From now on, all my time entries when I use this bill theme will show up like that. But of course, I don't want to have to change it every time. I don't want to have to change it with every bill that I'm looking at and every bill that I'm preparing. So instead, if I go back here to the settings, back to my billing settings, back to my bill themes, you can see that this bill theme is actually set as the default, right? But if this attorney initials one is the one I actually want to default so that now all my bills show up with this on there, I'm going to go ahead and click as set as default. And so now next time I prepare my bills, by default, they'll show up on this bill theme and I won't have to go and change every single one of them. So this will help you now to make sure that your bills do show up with that attorney column on there. You'll be in compliance with whatever state bar rules you have, and you'll be able to be very clear with your clients as to who's providing the service. And so it will put in who the initials of the attorney that's actually kept the time entry. I hope that's helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for the suggestion. If you have a request for a video, I would love to help you out. Go ahead, drop me a note, let me know. And if you have any troubles, I'd love to help you out. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.